Batch processing is one of the quickest and easiest ways to do some basic automations, and many systems are already set up for it. So using something like AI can just help us accelerate this even further. This is an example that quite a few people have asked me to demonstrate, and it is a really good way of just demonstrating this process. So let's just say we're using something like Canva, and we want to create a Christmas message for some of our clients. So we just want to say to and their name or dear and their name, followed by a basic message wishing them and their team at their company some seasonal greeting. Okay. So we'll go into something like ChatGPT, and we'll maybe load up a file from our CRM. So there's just pretend people and companies. And what we have here, if I was to look at this, let's just actually ask it, what is this data? Rather than me actually loading up the file for you, you can see that we have the first name in one column and we have the company name in the other column. And it's just telling me what the data is. So let's say I say, so write a message. Here, all I have typed in is asking it to create a new table where in column A, it says dear and the name of the person. And in column B, it says wishing you and the team at company a wonderful Christmas time. And then I've asked it to do this for each row of data on this data set here, this CSV or CRM system that we have plugged into it. And I've asked it to save it as a separate file that I can download. You can see it's analyzing here. So it's analyzing this data set against these instructions. And then what it has done is created a file for me to download. So if I hit download and download this document, and then we can see that if I zoom in here, we have column A, like we asked, and column B, just the way that we asked. And we can see that it has replaced it's done exactly what we said. So we've got column A and column B, and we're basically happy with that. Now that we've processed that, if we pop into Canva and we go to bulk create. Now, if you don't see bulk create here, this is because I've used it before. If you go into apps, you can find it in there. We go into bulk create here, and we will need to select our media. We go into upload media, and then I'm going to go into documents, and I'll take this file here and save it here. You can see that once I've uploaded the file, it's got column A, and it's got the data that we want here, column B, and the data we want here, and it's asking us to connect the data elements. So this one here, we want to connect the data, and we want that to be column A, and this one here, we want to connect the data, and we want that one to be column B. All we've done here is uploaded that file that we created with ChatGPT, and we've connected this one, column A, to here, and column B to here, and then we hit continue. And then you can see that it has produced a list of items that we can check, and we can just say, do we want it to create, I've just unchecked that one by mistake. Do we want it to create all of these, or do we just want it to create a few of these? Now let's just create them all, and we hit go. And what we can see here is we now have Dear Alice, wishing you and the team at TechSphere Inc. a wonderful Christmas time. And then we have down here, Dear Bob, and he's at Green Valley, and so on and so forth. And here we've produced about 20 different greetings cards for each of our customers in a simple batched way, using AI to help generate the messages and using the bulk feature in Canva in this situation to produce the final assets that we want to use. Now, it's not just Canva. Lots of other softwares have similar features, and by combining the two together, you can get a lot of stuff done really quickly. Let's look at another example. In this particular example, let's say we are creating social posts, and we might want to do a bit of modification to some of the images as well as the text. And there's a few different ways we can do it. So let's just do what we did again, and we'll do a bulk create, and I'm going to upload a file, and we're going to take 12 days of Christmas, which is just one that, again, I created with ChatGPT. And similarly, what I'm going to do is I want to connect this one here to the day, and I want to connect this one here to, I did that wrong, and connect this one here to the day, like so. So we've got the day, and then we've got our kind of post, which is just going to be a sort of inspirational post based on what ChatGPT gave me, quite frankly. And that's us. So let's hit continue. It's done the 12 days as we want, and I will hit generate. And it's again produced day one, gift of simplicity, day two, joy, no frustration would be an interesting one. And then so on and so forth. Now, what we might have here is that we decide that we want to modify this. So let's just say, for the fun of it, we're going to do a bit of a mix of Elf on the Shelf and, where's, well, we call it Where's Wally, but you guys call it Where's Waldo. And say we want to move this guy around. So let's put him, shall we say, up here, and let's make him a bit smaller, and maybe let's flip him horizontal. So now he's at the door, whereas in the next scene, he's over here, and we could move him around the place. Maybe in this one here, let's put him. Should we put him on the roof? Maybe you should put him in the roof. Let's have a wee look, shall we? Let's pick a different one, shall we? Let's pick this guy here. There we go. How does that look? There we go. So now we've got him in 3 different positions that can so we can help modify some of this. Now, if you're interested in looking at how to create consistent characters with AI and Canva to kind of create scenes and stories, particularly helpful if you're doing a series of social posts and you want the same type of character in each, then I will give you a link to a video on how to do that very shortly. But it brings us to the next point, which is what happens if we want to modify both the text and the image. So rather than just modifying a part of the image, we want to modify the entire image. So let's take this example here, where we have this post. This is just a Canva template that I took. So I haven't created this. I just went into Canva, create a design, and then I selected one of the templates and I stripped it back a little bit. But here, what we might want to do is modify this background image and modify this text. So we can do that. And it's using a very similar feature. So again, if we go back to the bulk create, but this time I'm not going to actually upload a file. I'm going to use this option here where I can paste in some data and use that for the bulk create. So we've got this is called name, which we don't necessarily want that to be. We definitely don't want an email. So let's remove this column here. And then we want to add an image. So we've got an image column and then we've got a name column. So we don't want this to be called name. Let's just call it, I don't know, just call it text. Bit boring, but let's just call it text. Okay. In this particular example, what we want to do is we want to change the text like we previously did, but we also want to change the background image too. So if we go to this bulk create, unfortunately, we can't just upload the file that we want. So we're going to have to do this a little bit more manually. So in this column here, we've got the text, and then in this column here, we have an image. So if I go to my file and I take these, okay, so these are the images that I want to kind of add in, but I can't just paste them in. It's not quite hooked up that way yet, which is a bit unfortunate. If I hit paste here, then we've got this. If we go to here, and then if I hit this arrow, this plus sign, and then add this, I can basically see the images that I'm looking to, and I can basically add that in like so. So if I go to the rest of these, then we can bulk create. So now I've just added in all the images. I hit save. And then I've already connected this up to text. And this one here, I want to connect the data. I want to connect it to image. It'll only give me that option. And then I hit go. We have our images selected, and we want to generate these ones. And there we go. We have our different images. And you can see that our posts, again, are different. So we've got the words, image combo, different words, different image combo, different words, different image combo. And we can obviously make that quite large if we like. That's an example of using a batch create and automate with AI to help make a workflow a little bit faster. And if you want to see any of the instructions on how I created these consistent images that you see here in the background, or the consistent characters that you saw with the elf, then have a look at this video here.